Alabama offensive lineman Tyler Booker joins us each week, courtesy of Roback. Get all your great game day gear, golf gear, amazing pullovers, and pants at Roback.com. Use code TNR20 for 20% off your initial order at Roback.com.
The SEC ABC slate this week, Florida and Texas. Florida will have a walk-on third-string quarterback on the road at Texas. 11 o'clock ABC. But
is that a problem?
Yeah, he scored a touchdown against Georgia.
Didn't think he played well there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot to ask of the guy.
Georgia Ole Miss 2:30 on ABC, and then from Baton Rouge with weather in the forecast, Alabama and LSU 6:30 on ABC primetime.
Tyler Booker, he's going to be at that game, Jim.
I hope so.
Yeah, Book going to be playing.
I hope so.
You're going to be there. What's up, Booker? How are you today, my friend?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Doing awesome. Tyler is with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. And as a reminder, you can get all things Alabama at covercrimson.com. Join for $1 for the first month at covercrimson.com. A lot of great original shows there on the Cover Crimson YouTube channel and the message board there at covercrimson.com. How was the bye week? What games did you get to watch?
The bye week was great. I was able to spend a lot of time with my family. Some games that I watched the A&M and South Carolina game. I also watched the Florida and Georgia game as well. Those are two games I paid close attention to. Then the Penn State and Ohio State game too. Those are all really good games. And before we get started, I want to say it's like that penalty that number 6 got for like just stepping over a guy. That was crazy.
That is yeah. I mean, you've been called for a personal foul or two in your time at Alabama. I mean, the kid had to get up. There was really
he was talking to him,
and
then he. I don't want to get too details of what he was trying to do, but we all know what you're trying to do, Tyler.
Yeah, thank God I play in the SEC because I've gotten away with a lot worse.
Hey, so when you're sitting on the couch and you're watching these games, and look, a lot was made coming into the game that Josh Simmons, their left tackle's out for the season, and this offensive line's been a little shaky. Is that what you're focused on when you watch a game? Is it not necessarily following the ball? I'm more watching what's going on up front.
Yeah, sometimes, but I really try to enjoy being a fan because there are times where I'm very analytical of the offensive line play, and then I get into like, okay, what scheme was going on? Because there's people I know I don't want to be one of those people at home, but like, oh, 52 didn't block that guy. Well, sometimes it's designed for me not to block that guy, so I try to just sit back and enjoy being a fan.
Listen, you're the first athlete we've had a chance to talk to. We'll talk Alabama, LSU in a second. But did you see the Saquon Barkley backwards leap over the player yesterday? What do you think of that?
I mean, there's some stuff that you can't teach, like that it factor. Like you can tell that somebody has it from a young age because there's ways that they move their body. There's ways that they have a certain level of awareness and they can do things that other people can't. And there's things that you can't teach. Like you can't teach that.
Yeah.
So he has that it factor for sure.
So take me into a film room with the guys watching back the tape. How will the room react when they show that in film breakdown with the team and the coaches and they show Barkley jumping backwards over a player? Barkley and his teammates will react how? What will it be like in that film room?
There'll be a lot of excitement, and guys already probably have that play star, so they know what's coming up when it's going to be up in the film room. So everybody's already talking about it before coach his play.
Do you jump out of the chairs? Do people get up out of their chairs at that point?
Nah, not for a play like that because they probably already seen it 100 other times on the Jumbotron and on social media too. So
okay.
What is the best reaction in a positive way? The best reaction you can remember for a play in film study at Alabama in your time at Alabama?
Definitely 4th and 31.
I would imagine. Did Coach Saban have any corrections on that play? He was like, okay, I know he scored, but
no. So that wasn't during Good, Bad, and Ugly.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't watch that, but as an offensive line, we just looked at it and we were just like, man, like, hey, any given play, you can never give up because you never know what can happen.
Well, you only had to block 2 people as an offensive line.
Yeah, that's something else we talked about too, how they only rushed 2 people. So we had a front row seat.
Yeah.
See one of the greatest plays ever.
Yes, you did.
Hey, so I'm sure you've watched some of this LSU and Texas A&M film, and it really was a tale of 2 halves. It looked like LSU was having their way with them in the first half. Second half, LSU's defense looked completely lost. I mean, as a guy that analytically you really can break this thing down, what was the biggest difference from – I mean, I know Marcel Reed coming in the game, but LSU's defense from half one to half two against Texas A&M?
So what we really do a lot here, we watch a lot of cut-ups. So a lot of the plays aren't going to be sequenced. So we watch plays based on what our formation is, what their formation is. So I haven't sat down and watched the game through to get a good feel of the game, but so I really can't comment on that. But I bet that Texas A&M probably just made adjustments, and that's what elite teams have to do in halftime in order to win games. Everybody makes adjustments during halftime. So
okay,
that's my answer to that.
When you look at LSU's defense on tape, what do you see?
They have a lot. They have a lot of playmakers. They're well coached. They play hard. Everybody plays for one another, and you just have to make sure that we do our job when we execute. They're good. They're a really good defense.
How are they at linebacker and on the edge? Is there a team you've played so far that they compare to?
I don't want to really compare one opponent to the other, but they have really good edge rushers and they have really good linebackers as well. It's going to be a really tough, hard-fought SEC game.
Tyler Booker is our guest on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What did your team learn about dealing with the crowd at Tennessee that could help you in this game in another hostile environment?
It's really hard to describe to people who haven't played in that environment, like the Tennessees, like the LSUs, like everywhere else in the SEC, where it's going to be really loud to the point where you can't hear the person next to you. And now that everybody has been through it now, we feel comfortable of knowing what we have to do in order to combat that, and what else we have to do in order to have a better outcome than the last time we played in a hostile environment.
Your former head coach, who's now an analyst for College Game Day, was talking about this earlier this season, and he was talking about when teams have to go silent on the road and guys like yourself as the guard have to tap the center for the snap. It is such a huge advantage for the defensive line. How do you overcome that? I mean, how do you first of all, do you feel that way? I mean, that's what Nick Saban said, but it may not be what Tyler Booker feels. And how do you overcome that?
Yeah, I don't see it as a disadvantage. I just see it as me having to do what I have to do to help my team win the football game. So I don't see it as a disadvantage. It's just another element that we have to overcome, and that's something that I'm willing to do, something that everybody on the team is willing to do. So if that's what it takes, that's what it'll take, and we'll adjust accordingly. But I'm very excited to go play against a great defense in the hostile environment.
More than likely, this will be your last game ever in Tiger Stadium. I know you're not going to lose any sleep over that, but the last time you guys were there, you lose 32-31. They walk it off in overtime with a 2-point conversion. What do you remember most about that meeting?
I didn't play a lot during that game. I was a freshman that year, so I just remember how crazy the crowd got, and I remember how one play, I forget which play it was, but there was a play on the first drive. It might have been an interception, and the crowd was dead silent on that drive because we were driving the ball down the field really well. Then that one play happened, and then you couldn't calm them down after that.
Tell me about Jalen Milroe's mental and physical shape going into this game. You've been around him this off week now. He's really close with you. Where's the mindset of QB1 for this team heading to Baton Rouge?
His mindset is exactly where it needs to be, and that's on winning the game. That's on helping us get better. That's on helping himself getting better. And that's on his mindset is on leading and doing whatever he needs to do in order to help us win. And whenever that's the quarterback's mindset, I really like our chances.
There's a tropical storm in the Gulf, and I know you guys probably haven't talked about that. Have you? I'm trying to remember in your time at Alabama, you haven't really played in like a sloppy deluge, have you?
South Florida was pretty bad.
Yeah, South Florida. There was a weather delay. I forgot about that. But weren't you injured?
Yeah.
You were injured in that game, weren't you?
Yeah, I didn't play South Florida. I was just on the sideline getting soaked. But I haven't really played in a real dirty, muddy game. So if that's the circumstances this weekend, I'll be excited to play in it.
Oh, that's an offensive lineman's game. I mean, a dirty, muddy game. That's an offensive lineman's dream, isn't it?
You get to wear all white, too.
Yeah, get that crisp white Alabama road uniform filthy. You would love that.
Oh, yeah. They'll have the white jerseys.
Right. I forgot about that.
Hey, LSU throws everything out of whack.
They do, yeah. I like that. I like your road uniform, man. I wish you guys were wearing that if it was going to be a muddy game.
Same here, but it's out of our hands.
That's right. All right, he is Tyler Booker, the Alabama offensive lineman, with us each week on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Book, thank you very much. Good luck against LSU. We'll see you next Monday.
Thanks. See y'all then. Have a good one.
All right, buddy. You too. Take care. Tyler Booker with us. And don't forget, you can get all your Alabama action at covercrimson.com. Covercrimson.com. Great original YouTube and video programming there on the YouTube, Cover Crimson YouTube channel, and also the message board at covercrimson.com.